Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin. It is my pleasure to be sitting here. Actually, back in 1997, when I was at the Sundance Film Festival, I interviewed a young actor for a movie called Chasing Amy. Ironically, 17 years later, I am with this same young actor, and technically you're still chasing Amy.
You know what? This movie is as close to Chasing Amy as anything I've done because both movies kind of polarized the audience on gender lines. They sort of suggested things about men and women and differences that created conversations after the movie where people go, you think that's true, or do you think this is right? And I really like that. It's not the thing where we're going to get everyone together, they're going to come to the same conclusion, and they're going to love their protagonist. It requires a bit more analysis.
Yeah, it's fascinating, too, because having read the book and talking to men and women, it's very polarizing. People are very particularly drawn to one character or the other. Going through the course of the film, I was wondering, did you and Rosamund have any of these type of discussions?
You know, both of us sort of approached our acting roles as, you know, that we wanted to really get submerged in them, and because David just shoots a lot and there's not a lot of waiting, you know, you kind of stayed in character or in the mindset of the character, and so when we were shooting the falling in love scenes, I think there was a lot of, it was friendly, and we were telling stories and we were having fun, and as we got into the other kinds of scenes, we kept a certain distance, which I think was helpful to play the issues in our marriage.
One of the fascinating parts, at least that I would presume would be a bit relatable to you, is media frenzy. That what happens when they take one issue and they start running with it and they just beat the hell out of it.
Yeah, the media tends to like identify people in like very simple, digestible kind of bites. You know, you get a label and it kind of sticks with you. That, in a very exaggerated sense, is what happens here, because this is about the tragedy vampires in cable news who seize on these you know, terrible events and then decide, like, this person's guilty, this person's the victim. And I think it's a little bit destructive, even though I'm as guilty of watching this stuff as anybody. You know, you look at Richard Jewell, who got convicted in the media of doing something that he didn't do, and his life was kind of, you know, very seriously damaged. And even when the people are probably guilty, trying people in the media is not really the best thing.
I want to ask you, you're obviously an accomplished and award-winning filmmaker. When you step behind the plate and you have someone like David Fincher in front of you, what are the nuances? What do you learn? What are the things, do you become more observant because in a way that help you in your next directing endeavor?
Yeah, I mean, I make movies very differently from David. I have different tastes that David has, and my process is different. But what's interesting is to just watch how he does what he does. A lot of directors will complain, you know, they'll say, geez, you get to be on all these sets and see all these other directors work, and it really is a bonus where now I know, how would Fincher do this, or how would Malick do this, or how would Michael Bay do this? You know, they're all very different, but they're all very handy tools in a box.
Just a last question for you. And throughout the movie, your wife likes to play these little games with you, these word puzzles, so to speak, for your anniversary. And I was wondering, how good are you with games like that? How are you? I mean, people Sudoku or whatever type of stuff? The
only games that we play like that is Scrabble. And I think I lost the last game that I played against my wife, sadly. But, you know, I win a few, too.
I was about to say, you should be Candyland and Chutes and Ladders.
Well, we do those, too. But those are the ones that you can sort of only, like, handle an hour or two of before you go completely insane.
Well, Ben, I can't thank you enough. This is a terrific movie. Actually,
thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it.
And this is Scott Orlin. Until next time.
Thanks, brother.